Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Kind of late in the night, but man, this poor old bike's been sitting nowhere, neglected for a few months. But anyway, I guess as long as we're listening to YouTube music back there, so we'll do. I'm not gonna bore you. Maybe we're changing some stuff, but I don't know. I might bring you along. Things I gotta do. I've got the proper valve to put on here, I think, or maybe that is the right one. I don't know. It's probably the right one. The battery's dead in it, and I might put the charger on it. But I've got to. Don't worry, there's a side cover right there. I'm gonna change that carburetor. I've about pulled my damn hair out with these stinking carburetors. So I'm not sure how many millimeters that carburetor is, but part of it's the original, part of it's not. And I'm just so damn disgusted to have a carburetor trouble. So anyway, being said, I gotta take the seat off, which I've already unbolted it. So yeah, it's a 1970. Well, it could be classified as a 71. 6 of 70. Oh, that might be a 70. Who gives a damn? I know it was my dad's. I've got the original bill of sale. I don't think I've ever done a video on this one. And whatever. You know, as far as I can say, that's the only license plate that I ever said that it's had on it. I did put the little license plate jewels on there. But I don't know. A couple of years ago, I tore this thing down. Almost all the way down. But it's been one of those hard things to come about to do a full restoration, because the black frame in some places is rough, some places is not. You want to bring it back to its glory days, but I mean, it needs some repairs on the tank. It's got a dent right here from probably a helmet, where a helmet smashed into it. One right there. But it's just it's a blue green, man, and you can't find that color. It's not really a metallic, it's just blue green. But I know the other side of the tank, and of course finding one of these headlight buckets that ain't a cheap knockoff. Let me get you the camera. There's a dent there, a dent here. I know the steering stop is knocked off, so I don't know, and I'm sorry if I'm going all around and around a bike, but the tanks are always the things that, man, are scrutinized and abused. And I know years ago I put some you're talking like, let's see, close to 30 years ago, I ordered some tank liner. Well, I didn't know nothing about, eating the rust out. I just put some handful of nuts and bolts in there and screws and junk, and swished it around and cleaned it out as much as I could, dried it out with gasoline, and I poured this white crap in there from probably out of J.C. Whitney or some catalog. And when I started getting this old bike back up last time, what the hell's in there? It's coming loose. Well, it was that white stuff. So I pulled it out. But then this whole tank, it's going to have to get some of that red coat in there. Terrell's Fixes All up there at Lawnmower Shop, he did a video on that. So, and I've already did a Trail 70 tank with red coat. So anyway, I'll take care of the tank again. But there, there's a lot of things that I need to replace. Some rubber bushings here and there. This one I actually put in there backwards. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. Just felt like doing something stupid one day. Excuse me. But yeah, I was gonna get another carburetor. I wish I could. I want to get some stuff re-chromed and stuff like that. I try to get the dents in the muffler fixed or just chrome them with it, because they got they got a story to tell. Poor things. It used, I'm down here in Hillsboro, and it used to make several trips up to Fort Worth back in the day. Dad worked up there, and after you got married and stuff, or you started working, he'd ride it to work. And Mom got a CL 125, and either a CL or an SL. Probably a CL, which was the mufflers came up halfway up the bike. I remember seeing it, but that's a whole nother sad story about that. It disappeared. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, those tires have been on there for close to 30 years. And I still actually have the original tires. I just have not had the heart to throw them. I still have them. They're in god-awful shape. But, I mean, it's the blue-green color, which, damn, if, some things that needs to be redone. I need to get a headlight bucket and paint it. Probably do some minor repairs to the paint, wax. The shocks, getting the shocks apart can be a pain in the ass. As far as I know, Trail 70s, they're like that. But, I mean, I've got a pair of these that are red. And, like always, they didn't make these little pokey posts, whatever you call them, strong enough. Now, they should have done something different, but, and it's got some minor issues, the mirrors and some of these blinker switch stuffs are messed up. Turn signals don't work. Those are just, that's minor stuff. It's just stuff to get tackled. But like all these posts here, I'd have to take those and get them chromed. Now in most swap meets you can find these old turn signal housings and lenses, and I'm guessing it sometime years ago I think I changed some of them. But I didn't have, we didn't have the internet and stuff and all that good mess. But I wouldn't replace anything on this bike because it wouldn't be original to it. I mean, you can tell, yeah, it's got some scars right there. The headlight, I think it's been changed. It may be a sealed unit. Of course, I think it is. But it works high and low. I actually remember going to Honda Town, or what? It was Terry's Honda where it came from, but it was Honda Town, and it's something else now. It's changed names several times up there, whatever the highway is, Haltom City in Fort Worth. But I mean, re-chrome what it needs. I mean, handlebars are in excellent shape. They just need to be probably polished out. It would take probably about an hour cleaning them up. But here's something like this. This is a scratch, an incident. My dad had a wreck on it when he laid it over. Of course, you can tell because these ears up here have had it. And that scratch right there. So this is probably all at the same time. But I would try maybe to massage that out a little bit But I wouldn't even try to change that fender. And if I need to re-chrome it, I'll re-chrome it. I mean, it would cost me a pretty penny to get it chromed. So stuff like that, it tells a story. My dad signed his name to this accident on his fender. So this is something I would never see myself. Even if I restored the bike to show quality, I would still have that stinking fender on there because that's because of the value. And I want to get chrome spokes on it, or I don't know. I'm terrified to re-spoke these things because I like to actually take these hubs out and clean them up by themselves, probably repaint them or just get them chromed. I don't know. I don't know what really my long-term project is, but it's one of those it's fairly touchy for me. I already, done a few things that I could have done better. One thing is it's probably saved this bike is that crash guard. It's ugly. It would have to be chromed. I would, to make it really look decent, I'd have to have somebody do something with this. It's got excuse me. Right in here, it's got a knot. It's not welded together. Somebody did a half-ass job at it. I don't know who it is, but who it was, but it's not original to the bike. It's been modified to fit, but it saved this bike a few times when I had it from, getting any more damage. Now, I've used to run the dirt roads with it, and I'd hit them ruts, and man, and there's a few times I laid it over. I don't know if I broke any brake handles or clutch handles, but for the most part. And one thing that I did, I went through the engine a few years ago and did some stuff with it, and I'm going to go back into it because I'm still having shifter problems, and I got a whole shifting set up there. And I wish I could get a gear set for a CO125 because it's got a higher top end. Fifth gear is actually, it's less than a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's like 1 to point something another, almost 0.9. So it's actually would be turning faster than the input, I guess. So, things like that. But rear sprocket, drive sprocket, they're all original. They're in really good shape. I've never had to change them. Never had any reason to. I've kept good chains on there. I've kept my chain tight and adjusted properly. But it's just. Anyway, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna change this carburetor. It's nothing that probably you can't figure out how to change yourself because it runs like doo doo with that carburetor. So, man, if those are watching, I'll say this: if you know where I can get the paint, this blue-green paint for CB100, which let me show you. It's the same. It's the same for the Trail 70. I got a CT70H, and man, these colors are the same. I mean, I tried, with the candy blue, and tried to do some experiments, spraying some candy yellow on there, and got a little too thick. But it's just stuff just ain't out there for this color. So I don't know what the hell to do. So I wouldn't try to repaint this bike unless I had the colors. If I had the true legit colors, I would probably take the tank or try to do some repairs on the tank that I could. My body work, take it to a guy and have them professionally done. But that's further down the road. Not too concerned about all that right now. It's just I want to get this thing started back up. So I'm going to put the charger on it, and I got to find a battery charger that does 6 volts. Now I'm going to do that, do the carburetor, and see if I can't get it running, but or get it running again. I know it'll run. It's one of those that has to have a battery, you know, delivering 6 volts. It won't start without it. I don't know why they just didn't do a magneto like they did the rest of the damn bikes back in the days, but now they had to upgrade to a stator, a powered stator to generate the juice. So, guys, see you in a minute. Okay, I got the new carburetor on, and it is a Mikuni. I got it from Go Power Sports. I believe it's a 22 millimeter. It's not exactly a perfect match, but it does bolt up right there. The air mixture screw is, well, I think it's down in here. Yeah, right there. So that ain't all that hard to get to, but don't know. I went ahead. I had a replacement coil on an aftermarket, and there was nothing wrong with this one. So I put the original back on. It's supposed to have a wire. I got it somewhere. I just got to find it or just get a new one somehow, and for that to, you know, hold back. And I don't know if the wire unscrews out of the coil. I'll have to discover that on some other coil, but I know this is the original coil, so I'm putting it back in it. It does have a new condenser. I do got new points for it somewhere. I just never did put it on, or I thought I put it on and forgot about it. But battery's on charge. So in the meantime, I poured some dirty gas out of the carburetor, or not the carburetor, the gas tank. So I thought, well, damn, and this fell out of it. That's a pickup tube. So I'm gonna take that valve off and see what it's all about. And when I took it off, I found all kind of bunch of boogers down here in this screen. So if she comes out willing, I don't know. Man, you're seeing it for reals. Yeah. There's a lot of boogers in that tank. So I'm glad it's got a screen in there. I got a socket head. I believe it's a M6, but it's a socket head cap screw down in there because Phillips sucks. I mean, hell, they strip out. So I went down to at that time, my Ace Hardware wasn't. They didn't restructure their nuts and bolts yet. They were over here. They were in the process of expanding. But I went to my local Napa and found that one, and it worked. So I'm gonna take that off, and I don't know if I'm gonna have. I have to write reminders on things. So I mean, it don't even come with no damn bolts or nothing or screws to hold this to the tank. But I may have to install this one. It has a side spigot, same as this. I had one of these with a down spigot on there one time, and it was a nuisance. But I'm gonna take this off, see what it's all about. Make sure it's clean. If I can put that thing back, that pickup tube from my own level, I'll put it back on there. But anyway, this is what the bottom side of my tank is. That's just a bunch of varnish. It's not kind of any epoxy or putty. It's just where this is leaked, and it's run down and cause a bunch of varnish. And I'm just leaving it on there. It's not going to really chew my tank up. It ain't leaking. But, I don't know. That's it. And I've always wondered, how in the hell do you get gas from this side of the tank over to here? I mean, look at that deep hump. I mean, a lot of gas tanks are like that. It's just got that deep hump. And I have seen gas tanks, and I thought about it, is to get a nipple barb that would go from, get it TIG welded in some way and come over to that side. That way I could use 100% of my fuel, because basically you're only using half a damn tank at a time. So I don't understand it. But I didn't make these bikes. But you know, that's just down the road. If I was ever to get this tank redone, I would get it done right and just get an interconnect hose, and that way I could actually pull all the fuel out of it, you know. Because whatever's you know, you fill it up and it gets over the hump in there, or it gets you know, you fill it up however which way your gas nozzle goes, fills up first and the other side fills up, or maybe simultaneously, you know, same time. But it damn sure don't come out there at the same level on both sides after it gets to the hump. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all are smart. Anyway, let me get back to doing this. And it's kind of hard to hold the camera. I got to take all that off and clean it. Hey, it's the next day. Man, I was about to pull my doggone hair out last night. I did change the carburetor. I put the Go Power Sports carburetor on it. I put a new plug in it. The other one was just carbon fouled. So, anyway, I did on the gas. Excuse me, I'm sitting down on my butt. Sorry. I did change the fuel valve. The other one was just, I didn't like it. I took this off, and it's, you know, it's got that little rubber washer in there with the little holes in it. It looked all distorted, so I said, to hell with that. So I just left it off. And I managed to find, I had a new points plate, and I put that in. I've been having trouble with like the power. I was riding it down there in the field with some tall grass. Get it dirty. But anyway, you know, I put a new battery in it. It just seemed like I had to keep it on the battery charger last night to keep it running. And I thought, well, damn. I thought, well, I'm gonna have to. I got some parts motors over there. They're just like these 100s, they're either CO100s or 125s. That pretty much got some of the same characteristics. But I thought, man, I just don't think that stator is cutting the mustard. So, you know, or something, or a weak battery. So I changed battery, and I looked at this and that, you know, changing this, fuel, tuning carburetor, spark advance and all that junk, you know, setting my timing on my points plate. But just going through all that stuff and just pulling my hair out. And one thing I did is I didn't know I had a problem, but I'll start with where I started. My neutral indicator light wasn't working. And I thought, well, it'd be a good time to go ahead and take care of that. So what I ended up doing, and I took the old speedometer off, and got it to where I thought, well, maybe it's a bad bulb. I checked this. You pull this cover off, and the little contact switch is down. Well, it's not really a switch; it's just a contact down here with a neutral wire. It's a green with a red stripe, and it runs up through that. So I got to check, and what I stumbled upon is, you see well, it's light green with red. And it's light green with the red right there. It is now. But guess what? It wasn't even in the... I'd put new plugs on here, and I don't know why in the hell, but they put a 6 Honda. You know, I put the same exact plug on it with new terminals. You know, gold-plated terminals, or they look gold, in there a couple of years ago. Soldered them in, so they got good contact. And guess what I only had? I had one AC wire lined up. It's like, you see, it's got grouped like that, and it's supposed to be like this. Well, I had it offset. I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I did it. So I only had one of my AC wires from my stator making contact. So it was robbing me. I was probably barely getting a minimum output from my stator. You know, going up, the rectifier's up in there. It's got one of them new ones. I got the orange one, the selenium rectifier. This is a new style, or newer. It's up in there. It's got the aluminum casing, but you know, I put it all together and the damn thing runs a lot better. I'm like, my God. So I've been taking it down the road, ripping it again, and I got my points gap set at 13. I've never been able to understand why, but the zero, hell, that's hot. Let me give me a screwdriver here. Anyway, there's a zero, which is supposed to be up there, and I have to advance it that much. And it's always been that way. You put it up there, and you're not gonna get it to run. No. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but it's always been like that. I'm just wondering if they're stamping that zero at the wrong spot. I mean, I've got a book on this thing, but you tell me. But I think what I'm going to do next, now I've kind of took care, I need to put my turn signals on. I'm going to have to pull the seat back off and get up in there, and I know there's plugs in, so I've got it. I just got to get it. I just didn't want to have it on there for the moment, but you know. And when's the last time you seen a 6N6 3B battery from Walmart? I've had a battery for 20 years, and I finally put it together last night. It had all kind of bugs and stuff on it, and it was dirty, but I cleaned it up. And yeah, I don't have the glass AGC fuse in there. I got one of these blade fuses, so whatever. I mean, it's what I did years ago, and I don't know. I mean, I could probably buy a new wiring harness. They're available. I just don't want to, because, you know, like I say, if I want to restore this bike, I want to try to keep everything on it original as possible. It's just like that to me, okay? I hope you understand. And yeah, a lot of stuff comes from Indonesia and Malaysia on eBay and stuff, and you really can't find a dealer. And you know, CHP doesn't hardly handle anything for these bikes, except maybe like I did put LED lights up, you know, all my indicator lights up on the handle or the speedometer. I put LEDs in there. I went ahead and took the old glass filaments out. I just thought, well, why do I need to have all that power drain on this thing? It's 6 volts. So, you know, when you're running your lights, your headlight is pulling it down, your tail light's on, when you brake light it, that's even more, or you high beam the thing. So, you know, to be easy on the electrical system, I went ahead and just did that, just to give it a little bit of extra relief. So, but anyway, I'm going to pull the seat off, and I'm talking right behind the camera, and sound like I'm pretty loud, but yeah, I gotta put all that back on. Man, it's like I just want to rip the damn bike apart and start restoring it, but not maybe next year. I'll probably do that, and I'm just doing this video because, you know, there's not a whole lot on the CB100s out there that I give a damn about watching, and, you know, some of the problems. But I know this rubber cap, I found it on a bike at a junkyard. I think I ended up getting a motor out of it, but I don't remember. It was on a bike at a junkyard, and I stuck it on there. But you know, I am going to go back through and redo this motor right. This and that. I would like to put a different gear set in it for the transmission to make it a little faster, a little bit better low end, a little bit higher high end. You know, I need a little more torque on the takeoff, and I need a little more speed on the thing. So maybe at that point, you know, you are getting tired of me rambling on, staring at the same side of the bike. So I got to get up because my leg's killing me. But, you know, I'm like, well, I could take this off and go get it chromed or this powder coated. No, no. I'm not going to do it. When I start on it, I'll start on it and do it. If it takes me a year to put it back together, well, y'all just have to be part of that journey. But I do have another headlight bucket. It's somewhere in my stash of stuff. I got to gather up everything that I got and collaborate it in some kind of central location, my parts for it. But I would like to find an NOS or an actual Honda that I know that's going to work, because I need to replace that. And, you know, I'm not going to paint the bike or get it stuff repainted on it unless I know that I can get this candy blue green from a reputable place and it's an exact copy. I'm not going to waste my time with it. I'll leave it like it is. Until then, the restoration is on hold because of those reasons. It's mainly the paint. So I would like to just get everything done that I want when I have everything ready. Because I can do the work. It's just a matter of being able to, you know, put the time and money into it. And that's it. So, guys, maybe I'll bring you back in just a minute. I'm going to tinker with the turn signals and see if I can't get that back up going. I might just take this busted old brake switch off and see if I just can't run it, and, you know, just put the new switch in there and call that part decent right now, because the bike deserves as much love as I can give it. This thing's a 1970, so I was born in 76, so it's 6 years older than me. So it's bike turns 50. Well, I say it was born on June of 1970. So next month, might just have to have a 50th birthday party. Wow, damn. 50-year-old bike. And to think that I've had it since I was probably 14, 15. Yeah. So I've had it 30 years. So I've had this bike in my possession for 30 years. God dang, man, that makes me old. I'm not old, but it makes it kind of interesting. But folks, I'll see y'all in just a minute. It'll be just a second. He's running. Anyway, I'll turn the headlight on. I need to put some red paint on that high beam. Really flickers its butt off. It's got all new LEDs. Of course, turn signals. This thing here has got some issues. We got the turn signals to come on, but they don't blink. I've tried every damn blinker I can think of. I don't know what it is. The bulbs ain't, the wattage ain't high enough. Something to trigger. I took the blinker out of, oh, what the hell, my Trail 70 over there. I'm gonna just turn it off. But I'll stand here and listen to this. But yeah, I haven't seen them blinkers light up in years, decade or more, maybe 2 decades. I had to replace that bulb there. It was junk. I had some of those. Of course, this, I may tear this apart. You know, it's 6 volt, so I'm gonna have to come up with a how I know them things from CHP, they're like $30, and one I put on there was just generally from eBay. So I mean, I don't know what else I can do to make it flash, and what it takes to make it flash. But anyway, but that's probably all I can say and talk about on this thing. All that I've come up with. And I don't really want to repeat myself too much. I didn't get around to doing the brake switch. I'm not going to worry about it. I've a little late in the evening, and I'm not going to go about all that crap. So we're going to let Sally ride. So, and I'll do that another day. I'll get that taken care of. Just, man, what a mess. I need to get some of that, find some of that gray sheeting I can change out sometime or another. And, you know, replace that. That stuff's just hard as Chinese arithmetic. But all the lights work. They're just the turn signals don't flash. You know, and these parts right here I have, where'd it go? I bought some of these off of eBay a while back, and they were quite expensive. But I know the little detent for the keeping it there in that position doesn't quite hold its spot. But you know, I'd like to just, because the quality on these are probably, you know, the looks, I can polish that up and clear it, and you know, polish it up and, you know, put that red back in it left and right and all that stuff. and that'll come back. But maybe I can use some parts out of this to make it, you know. But it's not, you know, I'm gonna have to come to that crossroads as far as whether or not I want to use. I got one for the right side too for the lights, but I think for all intents and purposes, I'd just rather just clean these up and do them when I restore the bike. I'm like, you know, I say it again, I'm not in a hurry to just go ape shit crazy and just restore it, but I would love to see this thing back in its glory day. You know, what it looked like, or could, you know, bring it back to those times. But speedometer cables is a little too long. It's got too much of a loop or swoop down there. I need to get a shorter one. But it works. I just wish I could figure some of this shit out a little bit better. It's not a Trail 70. But I'm getting the power to my stator, or from my stator to the electrical system like I should. But man, what a hell of a mess. This thing is old, a little bit decrepit, but you know, she lives, she runs. So guys, I appreciate you wrenching with me out in the shop. I didn't show you really me working on nothing, but hanging out and drinking maybe a iced tea or something and going about the business. But take care of things one at a time. And it's about supper time. I need to go in there and eat. It's late in the evening. So, but I put the covers on. I put everything back on it that I could. I got to clean up my junk pile and all that. And I've got a mess of crap all over my table. Well, that's a whole other deal. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, so like and subscribe and all that good junk. And I just invite y'all to come back and see me next time. We'll see what else we got to put out there. If you got any comments, comment me or whatever, questions or something like that. I'll try to answer those in between other things going on. So sometimes it gets to be where I don't get around to checking the messages on the YouTube Gmail thing. So bear with me on that. I can, you know, if you want to ask me something and I might know of, or hey, I'll tell you what, the paint, I did find a place here in Texas, close to Plano. It's marblesmotors.com. MARBLESMOTORS, I think. There might be an S on it, .com. And they handle, I talked to the guy, and to tell you the truth, that stuff's a little pricey. They specialize in this, you know, they make this paint, or, you know, they formulate it, so it's pricey, but I'm not going to go hog and go off whole hog and try to paint this bike with the wrong color. So, you know, I want to do the H model Trail 70 that I got. I want to do it in that color. I'll do that one first before I do this one, because this bike actually means a hell of a lot more than any of the bikes I got. It's just one of those, you know. It's just, I see my dad on it, I see my mom, I see my pawpaw, you know, all those through the years that set their butts on the seat. Not particularly that seat, you know, the original seat pans on it, but you know, they sat down on this bike and put smiles on it. And yeah, if you didn't know, it's not the original speedometer. the other speedometer's in a box over here, and it just, I don't know, I think there's some bad problems with it. So a couple of years ago I put that one on there, and I was doing 60 downhill a while ago, but I think I need to figure out how I can get a little more power out of it. But shit, it'd do good around town. If I can get everything copacetic, get my paperwork straightened out, and get this thing up to code, get my motorcycle license, I put it around town on it, and insured and all that junk. So as long as I'm alive, this thing will never completely die. It may sit and collect dust here and there at times, but as long as I'm living and breathing, this thing will have life too. So, guys, thanks for watching, and God bless.